Court in Port Harcourt reserves ruling in alleged murder case against pastor. Labour Party rejects judgment nullifying candidature of elected members in Abia, Kano states. Court leaves suspension order on Labour Party chairman Julius Abure, other officers. On the foreign scene, Syria's President Bashar al-Assad attends first Arab League summit since start of Syria war. I am Kala Dakoru Batbo. Peace is the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. Good evening. Eyewitnesses say a car snatching gang were arrested when they attempted to run away with a Toyota Corolla car last night in Port Harcourt. It comes barely 3 days after a man was shot and his car stolen. The eyewitnesses told our correspondent that the suspected car snatchers were involved in an accident at Gateway Junction in the Ado George area of Port Harcourt as they were fleeing the scene. They said the accident happened at about 10 p.m. yesterday after they failed to successfully make a turn at Elipranwa Road.
Yesterday, as I go house, I see people gather for front there, saying an accident, this Gateway Junction here. And I see one Toyota Corolla. It happened yesterday around 10.
I think I can jam this side. Yesterday night, I carry the motor in the road. No, say here in a corner. No control what did like this. Now I can jam the motor this side. But in the position, can't catch him there.
The police is yet to confirm the arrest. A Rivers State High Court has reserved judgment in a murder trial of a pastor accused of killing 3 of his church members in Oyibo local government area. The General Overseer of the Altar of Solution and Healing Assembly, Chidebere Okorafo, is standing trial for the killing of his choir mistress, Uroma Onweagba, who he allegedly impregnated. He is also facing murder charges for killing her friend Ezenwa Chigozie and her 11-month-old baby girl. They had visited the pastor's house for a discussion on the said pregnancy when the incident happened. The trial judge, Justice S.O. Benson, reserved judgment until the 5th of June after lawyer to the pastor filed a motion on notice requesting the judge to vacate an earlier order preventing them from filing their final written addresses. Justice Benson granted the motion and urged the lawyer to present their written addresses accordingly. In 2018, the pastor pleaded guilty to the 3-count murder charges against him. He told the court that he killed the first victim, Uloma Onweagba, by strangling her while her friend died when he hit her on the chest. He said the 11-month-old baby was left alone in the bush after her mother died. One of the lawyers of the pastor, Ozuro K. Ileari, spoke to correspondent Emeka Otaka shortly after the court proceedings.
It will be very, very unfair and unjust to say you shut out the defendant when the defendant has a cogent and a verifiable reason why he was not present to have adopted his final written address, and the prosecution went ahead to ask the court to foreclose us, which the court erroneously did, and the court today acknowledged that it was done in error. In our address, we actually canvass the law that if you are not able to establish or link the ingredients of the offenses or the offense alleged to the defendant, the law is always on the favor of the accused or the defendant. So we are able to state all those things in our final written address. We canvass them to let the judge know that indeed our client never committed the alleged offense they say he committed.
The prosecution lawyer from the Rivers State Ministry of Justice, Precious Odu, also spoke.
They are supposed to have filed earlier, so we filed ours and then applied to foreclose them. Upon the receipt of our own final act, they woke up from their slumber and then filed theirs. That was why the court, on its own wisdom, overruled the former order made. Ordinarily, the matter is supposed to be for judgment day after evidence has been adduced by both the prosecution and the defendant counsel. But today, we are surprised that the defendant and its counsel came up with another motion to vacate the order of the court made in the last adjournment, vacating, not allowing them to file in their final written address. So the court on its own vacated the order and then adjourned the matter for judgment for 5th of June 2023.
In another development, the Labour Party has rejected a judgment annulling the election of its candidate in the 2023 general election, saying it is inconsequential, laughable, and holds no water. It follows nullification of the candidature of the Abia State Governor-elect Alex Oti and all the candidates of the Labour Party in Abia and Kano states by Justice Mohammed Yunusa of the Federal High Court in Kano State. The party, in a statement signed by its acting National Publicity Secretary Obiora Ifo, expressed concern with the haste with which Justice Yunusa discharged its duties within only 48 hours. He said Labour Party, which is mentioned as a respondent, was not aware of any suit against the party in Kano State, as the party was not served with any summons. Similarly, the Labour Party chairman in Abia State, CK Igara, called on all Labour Party candidates and the party faithful to remain calm and not panic. He said the party lawyers are already on top of the matter. He also said the May 29 inauguration of the governor-elect will hold as scheduled. In the meantime, there was a mild drama at the Court of Appeal in Abuja again today as the resumed presidential election petitions tribunal stopped the senior advocate of Nigeria, Oba Madwabuchi, from representing the Labour Party. At the pre-hearing session, Mr. Madwabuchi tried to make a legal representation for the party, which is contesting the outcome of the February 25 election with its candidate, Peter Obi. He was, however, stopped by the panel, who insisted that the legal representation for the petitioners is one. The chairman of the panel, Justice Aruna Samani, told Mr. Madwabuchi that he did not file the petition and as such cannot represent the party. In the same vein, Justice Amza Muazu of the High Court in Abuja today granted an order of stay of execution on the suspension of Chairman of the Labour Party, Julius Abure, and other party officers. Recall that Justice Muazu on the 5th of April issued an interim injunction stopping Mr. Abure, Mr. Ibrahim, the party's National Organizing Secretary Clement Ojukwu, and National Treasurer Oluchi Opara from parading themselves as national officers of Labour Party. Presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, has warned members of the public to beware of individuals impersonating him, mimicking his voice, and calling various individuals across the country. Mr. Obi, in a statement today, narrated the story of how some persons have been trying to cause mischief by mimicking his voice. He said he has been a target both locally and internationally. Still ahead, First Lady Aisha Buhari says no need for Nigerian presidents to seek medical treatment abroad. We'll go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, the rest of the news.
You are tuned in to
Nigeria Info.
We'll be right back after this.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. The First Lady Aisha Buhari is of the opinion that Nigerian presidents have no need to travel abroad for medical treatments. Mrs. Buhari stated this when she joined President Muhammadu Buhari and other dignitaries to commission 21 billion naira presidential wing of the State House Medical Center in Abuja today. She told State House correspondents that she established the idea of the wing 6 years ago after the extensive stay of her husband abroad for medical treatment. She assured that with the facility in place, Nigerian presidents and their family members will no longer need to go abroad for treatment, but may only fly medical experts to assist their colleagues in the country. People who have hypertension will not likely have symptoms until it causes serious damage. A cardiologist, Okebo Fidelis, made this known to correspondent Martha Okere while speaking on the need for people to regularly check their blood pressure and seek medical help. Dr. Fidelis said hypertension is a silent killer.
Mostly people that have hypertension will not know and they will not have any symptom. And we used to say, let it not be stroke, let it not be heart failure, sudden kidney failure, or the person will sleep, any of these things happen in the sleep and the person doesn't wake up. When that happens, people can't explain it and they say it's foolish people. And if that person was checking, they would have known that it's hypertensive. If he knows it's hypertensive, the chance that he's going to seek for treatment become higher.
Dr. Fidelis said people who believe that once they start taking blood pressure medications, they will continue to take it for the rest of their lives should not use that as an excuse not to seek medical help.
You have a problem, you say you don't want to solve it because if you start solving it, neither you continue to solve it. So you rather wait that the problem kills the person instead of doing something to control the problem. For now, we do not have cure for BP. What we do have, whether you're a president, you're the governor, it doesn't matter. If you have BP, you have to control it. There is no cure yet. If there is need for drug, at the time the doctor says start drug medication, you start those medication. Most of the medication are taken once or twice a day. Whatever control that BP for you is your miracle, and you continue that miracle. Is there anybody who prayed that the miracle that worked for you should stop? No.
Dr. Fidelis also spoke on how to prevent hypertension.
Do the lifestyle changes, diet control, alcohol reduction, stop tobacco, manage stress, reduce salt in your diet. Do all this and exercise regularly, at least 4 to 5 times in a week. Then you do this, you'll be able to do one, it can reduce the blood pressure. Two, it can prevent blood pressure from developing on time. You monitor the BP, and if it goes up, see a doctor. If they prescribe medication, the medication are not the enemy, they are your help. Take the medication.
Another medical expert, Kelechi Okonta, advised people against seeking alternative medicine, especially supplements, to cure hypertension.
As a matter of fact, those supplements in some cases could indeed increase the blood pressure, and it has happened because those supplements, people don't know what are their consequences. They just go up it and start having effect. But what is important is that when hypertension is identified, or if you have some of these small symptoms, go to a clinic. Just like they say, know your figures, where a sphygmomanometer will be used to monitor your blood pressure at different times. The doctors will advise you better on those.
In business, the Group Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, Mele Kyari, says the company will supply 300,000 barrels of crude oil per day to Dangote Refinery when it becomes operational next week. Mr. Kyari said this at the ongoing 4th Nigerian Oil and Gas Opportunity Fair in Yenegua, Bayelsa State. He urged all stakeholders to join the national oil company in growing crude oil and gas production in Nigeria. In entertainment, the popular social media celebrity Ismaila Mustafa, popularly known as Momfa, has denied the rumor that he has been rearrested and arraigned by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission for money laundering. Momfa said he was not arrested and made a live video on his verified Instagram page today. The social media celebrity was seen playing and dancing to Timaya's sweethearts to validate that he is free and not in the EFCC's net, as erroneously reported. In sports, Man United have confirmed that centre-back Phil Jones will leave Old Trafford this summer after 12 years at the club.
News from around the world.
On the foreign scene, Syria's President Bashar al-Assad is attending an Arab League summit for the first time since it was suspended from the regional body 12 years ago. Mr. Assad was shunned by many fellow leaders after his government's violent crackdown on pro-democracy protests triggered a civil war in which 500,000 people have been killed. Syria was readmitted this month after states which had backed the opposition accepted its grip on power was secure. They include summit host Saudi Arabia. On the news this evening, you heard a car-snatching gang has been apprehended in Port Harcourt. Court has reserved ruling in the murder trial of a pastor who killed 3 of his church members in Oyibo, River State. Court has lifted the suspension order on the chairman of Labour Party, Julius Abure, and other officers. On the foreign scene, Syria's President Bashar al-Assad has attended his first Arab League summit since the start of Syria war. The news was edited by Martha Okere. Rain showers in Port Harcourt this evening pieces the path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. I am Kalada Kurubatubo. Good evening. Conversations continue after the breaks. Stay tuned.